Jeff, you know that I work with leaders of all kinds of organizations, but also financial services organizations around the country. We're going to be talking about leadership here in a few minutes. Tell me what you think are some of the critical issues right now that are facing bankers and financial service professionals and, of course, leaders in general in this economy in this day and time.
Well, we're here in Chicago at what we call the Chairmen's Forum, which is for chairmen of boards of directors of banks who are the leaders of those boards. And they're facing an unprecedented economic meltdown in the country, which is affecting their community banks. And our two firms, Law and Consulting, work with community banks literally from coast to coast. And so these folks, we deal with them from Maine to Alaska, but they've all got similar issues that particularly the chairmen need to provide leadership for. And so they need to understand the environment. They need to understand what the keys to leadership are, which I hope you're going to provide today for them.
We're going to do our best.
As part of this. But they've got tough times. And the banks that are represented here, the community banks that are represented here, are among the best of the group, the healthiest. And so their leadership issues are somewhat different because they're the haves versus the have-nots. And there are probably out of 8,000 banks, 1,500 banks that are on the ropes, to put it bluntly, that the leadership issues are very, very different.
What's different? We read a lot about the big banks, the banks of America, and so on and so forth. In your experience, and I know you focus primarily, I guess, with community banks around the country, what's the major difference in leadership at one of the big banks, the international banks, the big domestic banks, versus some of the community banks that you work with from a leadership standpoint?
I think the leadership of the big banks, and we don't work with the Bank of America, as most of our clients, virtually all of them, are under $1 billion in size, so most of those under $500 million. But I think of the big banks, the leadership issue is you can lead almost from afar, okay? Almost like the President of the United States can lead. You can be eloquent and you can set out policies. These small banks, you're dealing with human beings on a very close basis. And I think that's a different aspect of leadership that has to occur.
So it means it brings leadership to the forefront, leadership sort of shoe leather. We got to get out there and do it then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I know that you're busy, and I wanted to ask one more question. If there's one thing that you could tell bank chairmen or the leaders that you come in contact with out there that would enhance, in your opinion, immediately their leadership abilities, their leadership effectiveness, what would that one thing be, Jeff?
It would probably be to try and understand as best they can the industry and take advantage of the opportunities they have, or not panic when they get into difficulties, because they're going to have to show the leadership in one of those two areas.
Preparation, a clear and a calm head, and then action is always important, isn't it?
Exactly.